Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's show, Coach's Corner. As always, I'm the host, Rick Russell. It's your head coach, Jonathan Calder. Tonight, we're going to talk about tomorrow night's opponent, the 2-4 Shenandoah Zeps. We're also going to touch base on our win against Magnolia. We'll have a couple Seminole football players join us this evening as well. Coach, before we dive in too deep into the Magnolia game, I want to congratulate Tucker Howe on breaking the all-time passing record that was held by Jared Hooper. And, you and I talked about how great it would be for him to throw that pass to his brother Cooper, and that it took place. And Cooper made one heck of a grab and fought off the tackle and into the end zone. So congratulations, Tucker Howe. Congratulations to your parents as well. You know, they've done fantastic raising a fine young man, and to do what you've done and to do it and be so humble is truly amazing.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you said. We knew he was getting close. We knew he was getting close, and I wanted to really do it at home. No, I didn't have to, obviously, but it was nice to be able to do it at home, I should say. And truthfully, it's kind of crazy how it went down. The first 3 plays were passes, or I take it back, we ran 1 run, and then it was 3 passes in a row. And they were all like NFL type catches. Corbin's might have been the best, and then Cooper pinning the ball on the back of the kid's helmet, and then jumping up over the kid. And it was nice that, Cooper caught the record-breaking one. So I'm sure as a family, they'll remember that play and remember that moment. But just a special kid, humble, it's an honor really to coach him and be a part of this, really.
Yeah, it was a great gesture too, Coach. I seen you grab that football and walk it over the bleachers and toss it up there to his dad.
Yep.
So
yeah,
great to be a part of it.
Should be with them.
Yeah, great to be a part of it and great to witness it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Coach, the game against Magnolia, we fought off some of the elements, had a little bit of rain, and like you said, those first 3 passes really I don't think should have been caught, but they were.
Yeah.
So, great win.
Thank you. Yeah, we kind of came out early warm-up and started pouring down the rain, so I'm like, man, I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to pass the ball at all. I wasn't sure how the weather was going to hold off, but then we came out for the game, and it was beautiful out, really, in the beginning of the game. So I thought, well, we had a game plan going in kind of to pass the ball. So I thought, well, let's start out, firing the ball around a little bit before it started raining again, which it did eventually. But yeah, some just unbelievable catches, unbelievable plays there in the beginning. We score right away. They fumble on their first play, and then we score. So it's 13. I think we missed extra point, 13-0 within 2 minutes. So that was kind of the game plan anyhow, just to throw the ball in the beginning and then run the ball in the late second quarter, second half. Offensively, I ran 22 plays for 375 yards. We had 230 rushing yards, and Evan Knowlton had 181 of those and 3 touchdowns. Well, they passed 8 times, completed 5 of them for 145 yards, and out of those 4 of them were touchdowns. So that's pretty impressive. Cooper had 2 receptions for 83 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Corbin had 2 catches for 53 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then defensively is where I thought we kind of, played a pretty good game. Probably the best defensive game all year, I thought. Some pads cracking a little bit, but we didn't really. They had 1 small drive there later in the second quarter, but other than that, they really didn't do a lot. They ran 49 plays, which is a double of ours for only 150 yards total. So that's pretty impressive. Owen finished the game with 9 total tackles, I take it back, 11 total tackles, and Corbin had 2 sacks in the game. So yeah, just a special game, I thought, defensively. And what I took away from the game is when they did get that drive, they got down, it was 1st and goal from the 4. We're winning, actually that was late in the game, I take it was in the 4th quarter. We're winning, I think 40, or no, 36-0, something like that. Our guys could have easily just said, yeah, okay, you know, we've played a heck of a game. I've seen teams do that before. But they stiffened, and they actually got down to 1. It was 3rd and 1. They drove the kid back 4 or 5 yards, and then they went for it on 4th down. Obviously, didn't make it. So that really impressed me, just from the kids in the defense. So stepping up when you could just, and I talk to the kids about being average. It's easy to be an average person. You know, that's kind of human nature. Yeah, it's easy to be average. You know, it is easy to be average. It's hard to be special. And that's why I thought the defense stepped up. Could have easily just let them go in, but they stepped up, shut them down, and got the ball back.
Well, Coach, congratulations on 6-0. Now it's time to turn to 7-0.
That's right.
When we return, we'll preview this week's opponent, the Shenandoah Oaks. Welcome back to the show, everyone. We're here with our first guest of the evening, number 44, defensive end, fullback, Clint Grader. Clint, congratulations on a 6-0 start and a fantastic season and a great performance Friday night. You know, I keep stats defensively every game, and I can honestly say that before I go out on that field, I can give you 8 tackles and 1 CBL and be pretty darn close. It's every week. You know, you're one of the most consistent football players out there defensively, and you're not the biggest kid as far as height-wise, but I know you spent a ton of time in the weight room, and I can see that on Friday nights. Can you explain to us how you've developed over the last couple of years, and how much experience has helped you defensively at that defensive end position?
So yeah, last year I was basically setting down the foundation stones, kind of going through the motions, knowing where I should be each play. And this year, I've really been focusing on technique, like using my hands, swim moves, spin route moves, just trying to get around the guy across from me. And fast, explosive lifts, like hang cleans, your deadlifts, your bench presses, just getting faster than the guy across from me, trying to fly to the ball.
Good deal. Like I said, man, I know you've put in a ton of work, and your improvement over these past couple of years, it doesn't go unnoticed, buddy. So seldom do I ever hear like Coach Shoemaker or Coach Sherman yell your name out on the field. There are a few that they seem to yell all the time. But so you've become kind of a veteran leader out there defensively. I always see you looking at the sidelines, taking in plays, or making suggestions or what have you. But you play defensive end like you've played it for 10 or 12 years, you know. But as far as this defense and your leadership out there as a veteran, this defense is giving up 8.3 points a game. That's pretty impressive in high school football. And you've also had 2 shutouts. Can you explain the improvements over the past couple of years? Has it been your experience, the coaches, just a different mindset this year?
I think it's all 3. You know, we're not expecting to get shut down by other teams. We're going in there ready to punch somebody in the mouth. You got guys knowing where they want to be, and they're trying to execute every single play. And I think that's what gives us the upper hand on defense.
Yeah, perfect. And there's a lot of seniors out there defensively too, and I'm sure that helps. You know, you guys have played football together for so long, and that we've talked in previous episodes about cohesion and coming together as a group and teamwork, and this group of seniors right here is a prime example of a whole group of team players. I try to ask the seniors a question along these lines when they're on episodes, but it's a pretty special feeling to wear this Seminole uniform every Friday night, and a lot of kids don't understand that. You know, last year's motto was restore the tradition, and you guys did one hell of a job at that. This year's motto is unfinished business, and we've been able to redeem a few losses last year thus far in the season. Can you give some thoughts on why it's so special to be a part of this program and this tradition?
I think it's special because of what all guys have shown to work prior towards us, what all they've achieved. And as an example, all the sideliners in here, everybody who comes out to help on the field, what all they want us to achieve out there. And I think of it as a brotherhood myself, so just a bunch of guys that want to play football, want to get the job done every day, and it just feels more like a family to me.
Yes, it's crazy how strong this tradition is. You know, alumni weekend, when this field house is full of alumni football players prior to the game, and you know, they're not here for them, they're here for you guys. You know, they want to see the tradition restored, and they want to see us start winning more games, and the community's support has been special too, not just this year, but it really started to pick up last year. I don't know if you've noticed, well, I'm sure you have, but you know, the crowds that have been here in the past couple weeks is, you know, you win football games, people are going to come watch you play. And next question, it's great to see your younger brother out here too, Clint, Brody, and you know, I know he's got a lot of work to do, learning the game and in the weight room, and I'm sure you've pushed him to be the best that he can be. And speaking of pushing him, you know, I'm sure that you as a veteran leader of this team pushed other younger players, sophomores and freshmen, along with Brody. But give us an example of maybe one or two situations where you've helped these younger guys either learn the game or learn technique or what have you.
Just in practice, Shoemaker, Sherman, they've also been helping us with that, just like simply teaching guys how to check their hands off blocks or how to just drive down the hole. Or, as we had in the game previously, not underestimating your opponent, because that can be a problem for yourself. You dig yourself into a hole you can't get out. It's something you never want to do. Just want to go out there and want to play 4 quarters of fast physical football.
Yeah, that's great. It's, you know, I remember, and I talked about this previously, you know, when I was a freshman, there was so much talent ahead of me in the junior and senior class, you know, and I'm out there busting my tail running speed laps and, you know, trying to be first and first one up, ups and downs. And, you know, I remember asking myself a few different times, particularly on speed laps, why in the heck am I even here? You know what I mean? But the reason I stayed and the reason I pushed myself to get better is because of the senior leadership. You know, they were there to help me. They didn't want to see me fail either. So great job as far as being a leader of this football team. Okay, so there's one better thing than being 6-0, and that's 7-0. And 7-0, right, Coach? We have been 7-0 since 2002.
Yep.
2002. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And we're here. But we got to get the job done. Now listen, Shenandoah has one heck of a talented quarterback. He's elusive, he's fast, and he's experienced. And I don't want to say that he is their offense, but their offense goes as he goes. And so you and Corbin will both have to set the edges, you know, to keep him inside your defensive tackles and linebackers and take care of him if he chooses to run. So what do you expect from the Seminoles defensively tomorrow night?
I expect me and Corbin to have some good team chemistry as usual, set the edge, make him uncomfortable, rush edges as much as we can. I think our linebackers can fill the gaps that are created. We just make it a terrible environment for him to be in, wrap him up, tackle him, don't let him go anywhere, win the game.
Yeah, it's going to be, tomorrow night's their homecoming too, so it'd be great to go in there and spoil that as well. Coach, you got anything to add?
Yeah, you had mentioned, you know, Clint being a leader. Well, he's first, and you talk about speed laps and things like that. He's first in everything we do down there. First in up and downs, usually speed laps. Anything we do, he's first in. And it is showing those younger guys, hey, look at this guy. He's a senior. Probably doesn't have to do that every time. You know, he probably knows he's going to play, even if he was middle of the pack or last. But it shows those young guys, hey, I got to step up and be like Clint. I've got to push myself and be first. So great leader in practice, great leader in the field house, but definitely a leader on the field. You know, he kind of gets people in check once in a while if they mess up or do something wrong. He doesn't like yell down at them, but he'll you know, say, hey, let's pick it up, let's do this. Very intense player. If you notice, notice sometimes his back foot shaking and things like that. So, I mean, that's just the intensity coming out in him. Very hard worker. You talked about weight room, dedicated himself to the weight room this past year. And that's comes from his family, I think. We talked earlier about Corbin put a lot of work on, the family farm. I think he works a lot on their family farm and their land and things like that. And it shows in the weight room and on the football field. So just a great kid, holds himself at a high standard. You never really have to go over to Clint and grab a hold of him and say, what are you doing? Because he already knows. He's already mad at himself, which I love the fact that he does that. Because I love kids that want to hold themselves high standard and want to do well every play. And that's Clint to a T for sure. But he's come around, fullback this year, blocking, getting better and better. But yeah, his specialty right now is definitely on defense. And I love the way he just worded making Barnett uncomfortable. I think we'll see a lot of that, tomorrow night with him.
Yeah, you don't see too many kids come to the sidelines either explaining to the coaches, hey, here's what's going on, what I need to do. And I did see you do that last week, and it's pretty impressive.
He wants to
Great
learn.
young man,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, listen, buddy, that's a wrap for you, okay? So we wish you the best of luck tomorrow night, the rest of the season, and continue your leadership, man, because trust me, I can see it on the sideline, the type of leader that you are, and it'll do nothing but great things for this team and help these younger players, and keeps the older players confident too. So continue your hard work. We appreciate it, Brandon. We'll be back with our next guest, Evan Knowlton. We're back with our second guest of the evening, folks. Evan Knowlton, number 3, running back and safety. Welcome to the show, Evan.
Thank you for having me.
Evan Knowlton, remember that years ago? How inside there.
I said, hey, I don't know about that one.
But anyway, buddy, congratulations on another big win Friday night. And we've talked to a few of the other similar players in previous episodes about playing with heart and loving football and loving the program, and you're a prime example of that. In week 1, you came down with an illness, and you were forced to stand on the sidelines the entire game. And I remember walking out across the track at Belpre and seeing you talking to your dad and seeing the tears running down your face because you're a senior football player and you've worked your tail off to get to this point. And you get pneumonia and you have to take a week off. So, can you explain that emotion in week 1 and how it's pushed you to where you are now? Because you had one heck of a game last Friday.
Well, I was a little bit surprised with how I reacted because I do love this sport and I try hard and I've been playing for years and just giving everything I got. And I knew, because I had strep throat before I had pneumonia, so I was missing already. So I knew that I was going to miss some and that it was going to last and that I was down. But when I went to the doctor Friday, I woke up that morning ready to play a game, and I woke up and I wasn't feeling the best. Went to the doctor and they said I better not play. And I was surprised because I knew that it was a chance because I just wasn't getting better. But it really hurt me when she said that I couldn't go and play with my fellow teammates.
I went for a second opinion.
Yeah.
So, Evan, this team is loaded with talent. We know that. And unfortunately, there's just not enough footballs to go around to all the talented players on the team. But like I've said before, you are a team player, and you've remained patient. And then Friday, you got your chance, and it paid off. So, can you explain how your patience contributed to the big game you had last Friday night?
Well, I've been just trying hard to practice, paying attention, learning. Running back's a little bit of a new spot for me, so I just kept on trying hard and learning, studying the playbook, and just making sure I knew what to do. And then when I finally got my chance, make it great, and I did.
You did that, buddy. That's for certain. As a matter of fact, Monroe Central finished with 230 rushing yards last Friday, and you had 8 carries, 181 of those yards, and 3 touchdowns. So you contributed to nearly 80% of Monroe Central's rushing yards. I don't know if you realize that or not. It's 78.7, I think. To be exact. We're gonna round it up to 80.
Yeah.
Because it's our show. So let me read you this box score from last week. First quarter, Evan Knowlton 5-yard touchdown run. Third quarter, Evan Knowlton 55-yard touchdown run. Fourth quarter, Evan Knowlton 97-yard touchdown run. So you finished the game, like I said, with 8 carries, 81 yards, and 3 touchdowns, and I don't really have any words for it. So the floor is yours, buddy. Explain to us what took place.
Well, a lot of good blockers, first of all. That's the most important part. I got to be able to get the ball and get to the outside. And I saw it open on those plays, well, 55-yard run. Saw it wide open, and I just took off running with my speed, and couldn't be caught.
It's awesome, man.
Then the 97-yard one, supposed to be the 5-hole, but it got plugged up, so I just jumped it out to the side, and again with my speed, just made it down.
See how I do that, Coach?
Yeah, as long as he goes 97 yards, it's all right.
I'm going to get out on a limb here, Evan, and say that your dad never had a 97-yard touchdown run.
Nope.
Or 98, or 99, or 100. Now, if I'm wrong, my phone's in my pocket, and I know Johnny, I'll hear it. It'll buzz here in about 5 seconds if I'm wrong, but I don't think. So, now these next 2 games, Evan, are going to be very competitive. So, through the first 5 games, it's mostly been Tucker, Chance, and Cooper, and AJ, and Corbin. And then in week 6, here comes Evan Noble. So, if Shenandoah watched any game film prior to last Friday, so they're going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to stop the names I just mentioned, plus Evan Noble, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your thoughts of this year's team with all the talent?
I just think it's great. I love to be a part of it. I love that we're winning games, and these guys that you mentioned, I've been playing with them for a while, most of them, and it's just, we have a lot of experience, and it's just great being able to finally help them out and make some good plays.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, you've made some wonderful plays. I remember before your 97-yard run, we were talking about how many yards you needed to get 100. And when you broke that corner, remember Drew said, well, there's 100.
In one play.
Yeah, in one play. So there's no doubt you love the game, Evan. And, I know there's a few people that you look up to. Your brother being one. Carter was a great athlete here. Unfortunately, he went on and graduated. And, of course, your dad, John, was a fantastic athlete here. And then, CL Straw as well. And I know they push you to be the best you can be, and you want to be the best you can be for them. And unfortunately, there's added pressure to win football games here at Monroe Central. That's just the way the program is, without a doubt. So can you explain why this team is one of the best teams we've had in recent years?
Well, just back to what I said, the experience, got a lot of seniors, and that really helps because they know what they're doing. They can help the other kids that are getting in, make sure they know what they're doing, and that just adds on to how much we can use to beat these other teams that we're playing against.
So right now we're 6-0 for the first time since 2004. A win tomorrow night will put us 7-0. First time since 2002. This Shenandoah team has one of the most talented athletes, quarterbacks in the entire valley, and we've seen that last year. Here, it took a last-minute touchdown pass from Cooper out to Tucker out, and then Shenandoah got the ball back and still drove it down just darn near the goal line before time ran out, time expired. So that kid's back this year, but he did lose a few weapons, but he's gotten even better. So what can we expect from the Seminoles tomorrow night?
Well, planning on really locking him down because we understand, we've played against them before and it was a close game, so we understand what we need to do. Changing people around to better suit, just keeping him contained and making sure that we come out on top.
Good deal. Coach, you anything to add on that?
Yeah, you mentioned, his brother and his dad, and we were able to play with John, which, he was a great player, and Carter had, a great year last year. So Evan's been just waiting for that opportunity, just waiting. And I know it was devastating to him in the beginning of the year. It was to me too, because I saw how much football meant to him. And we wanted him to get the ball. That was kind of the plan at the beginning of the year. My plan was to move him to running back, to tailback, so we could control when we got him the ball, because there's a lot of receivers and things like that. So as he was sick, he missed a lot of reps, and like he mentioned, it's a new position. So he was just waiting and waiting, and I know it was killing him. I know it was killing him. But no, last week, finally we were able to kind of feed him the ball a few times, and like you mentioned, he was 14 yards shy of 100, and I know him being a senior, he just wants to contribute. It's not about the stats or anything like that. He could care less about getting 100 yards, but I wanted him to feel that. I wanted him, being a senior, let's get him 100 yards. Now, like I said, I didn't know he was going to take it 97 yards, but just him getting that feeling like, hey, I helped this team out. I helped him win. I think not that he needed that, but I needed that for him. I wanted him to feel that. Because he's been a part of this team, not just offensively. He plays great defense. Corner last year, safety this year. But just a great kid, works hard. Fastest kid on the team. That's why we wanted him to be a running back, because we imagine things like this happening, and I can imagine the rest of the year. Hopefully we have 8 more games to go, so hopefully we can see more of that out of him. Just a great kid. The thing is, you watch him on kickoffs, it's crazy how many tackles he gets on kickoffs, because he's down there before anyone even blocks him, and he makes great tackles. So just a great football player, great family, and I can't wait to just see him get more carries, hopefully as the season goes on, and hopefully he can break some long runs. And like you mentioned, I'm sure Shenandoah is like, who in the heck is this number 3 at running back? So that's a good, good thing for us, bad thing for them. Another problem, another weapon that we have.
Yeah. Like Coach said, he wanted to get 100 yards, I wanted to get 100 yards. When he broke that 97-yarder and made it 181, I went to Coach and said, get him 200 yards. And I did say that. But, Coach is a great guy. He's not going to, we wanted to get to some of the second team, if not run the score. And the safety guys, meet everybody healthy.
Sure do.
For tomorrow night. So, listen, Evan, we appreciate your time today. You did great. I know you're stressing out over this, but you did just fine. And I wish you the best of luck tomorrow night and the remainder of the season. And if you ever need anything, man, I'm here for you. And I'll see you in the beer woods for sure.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after a short break to cover some of the highlights from the Magnolia football game. We stopped Magnolia for no gain.
We get a great push from the defensive line for no gain on the run.
Max Demchek has a long punt return.
Max does a great job of catching the punt on the run for a 27-yard return.
Corbin Farnsworth with a great catch and run.
One of the best catches you will see, and then finds the end zone after the great catch.
A.J. Rudder falls on the loose ball.
There's a bad exchange on the snap, and A.J. does a great job of pouncing on the ball.
Tucker Howe to Cooper Howe for a seminal touchdown.
Another amazing catch for a 15-yard touchdown for Cooper.
Tucker goes deep to Cooper to break the all-time passing record.
3 throws, 3 great catches. This one is a 67-yard bomb to Cooper for the passing record.
Ashton Lumbatis stuffs this run try.
Ashton does a great job of getting the tackle at the line of scrimmage.
AJ Rubber with a 32-yard run.
We run a power toss, and AJ follows his blockers and runs through some arm tackles.
Evan Knowlton with his first touchdown of the night.
Evan punches it in from 5 yards out.
Max Demchek with an interception.
Another great catch. Does a great job of going up and getting the ball.
Chance Allen with the INT.
Corbin Farnsworth gets great pressure on the quarterback, and Chance gets the pick.
Tucker rolls out to find Corbin for a 35-yard touchdown.
Tucker does a good job of rolling away from pressure, and Corbin has a great run after the catch.
Corbin Farnsworth and Tyler Whitaker combined for a sack.
We have great coverage in the secondary, which allows for the big quarterback sack.
Corbin Farnsworth ends the first half with another sack.
Corbin beats the end and gets a nice hit on Magnolia's quarterback.
Evan Knowlton takes it 60 yards for a Seminole touchdown.
We run a sweep and get great blocks from Logan and Ashton, allowing Evan to get a long touchdown run.
A host of Seminoles gets a tackle for a loss.
It's great to see all the gold helmets flying to the ball.
Evan Knowlton goes 97 yards for the score.
Evan shows off his speed for his third rushing touchdown of the night.
Talon Stein with a tackle for a loss.
Stein shows off some physical play, getting the stop in the backfield.
When we return, we will preview this week's opponent, the Shenandoah Zeps. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Coach, move on to the 2-4 Shenandoah Zeps. It's their homecoming tomorrow night. So how great would that be to go in there and ruin that for them?
That's right. It would be. It would be, definitely.
Yeah. So 7-0 is something that we haven't seen in quite some time. Matter of fact, 22 years.
Yep.
22 long years. So.
Yeah.
We got it in our sights, so I'm sure you guys are hungry and you guys will be ready tomorrow night.
We will be. They're a team that's just kind of all over the place, kind of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type of team. You never know what they're going to do, what you're going to get out of them. They've won some games where I didn't think they'd have a chance of winning, and then they've been in games where they should win and they're close or got beat.
Yeah.
So they're all over the place, and the main reason they are is because they rely heavily on the quarterback. So if he has a good game, yeah, they have a good game type of thing. But the kid's a special player. Number 2, Barnett, just a special player. He was last year. He was as a freshman. He was a tough kid. He's a junior this year. Makes really good decisions with the ball. Throws the bubble, throws the short stuff, can throw a deep ball. But the biggest thing we have to worry about tomorrow night, is his legs. He can take off and kind of make you look goofy, kind of make you look silly when you go to tackle. Very elusive, fast, breaks tackles, pretty strong runner. So we've got to really concentrate and focus. What we've done all week is focus on just containing him. Shut him down as far as the pass, but really don't give him any lanes to run. Don't give him anywhere to run, because that's where they get their big plays. When they played Buckeye Local the week after we did, and 95% of their plays, their big plays, were just him taking off, scrambling, and running. So we've got to do a good job of shutting him down. Defensively, they're not the strongest defensive team. They give up some points. Their best player is probably number 28. He's been playing for a while. Outside linebacker, he runs the ball, pretty solid tackler. But overall, I think defensively we can run on them, we can throw, we can do some things with our offense, with our weapons.
Yeah, as you mentioned, he is elusive. He's probably the best athlete we've seen all year.
Yeah, he's the best athlete we've seen, and probably the best athlete
Yeah.
we will see, well, at least till the playoffs.
Yeah, and you and I talked prior to the show that they like to spread it out 5 wide and throw those bubble screens, and so did Buckeye Local, and we
Yeah.
struggled with that. So I'm sure Shenandoah's coaching staff has seen that
Yes.
and looks to attack in those areas as well.
Yep.
So, but I'm sure you and the coaching staff will have the team ready.
Yeah.
Like I said, it is their homecoming. I think they're having a first responder and military night too. That, I'm sure they're trying to pack the stands because this would be a giant win for them.
Yeah.
Not to look too far ahead, but in the playoff rankings, this win right here would virtually put them in.
Yes.
And it'll definitely help us too because this is a very good Shenandoah team. Even though the record doesn't indicate it, they're going to win. They're going to win a few more football games this season. So we need to take care of business and absorb all those points in the playoff race. So.
Yep.
Okay, Coach, we're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll wrap up this week's episode. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Got a few small tidbits I'd like to share with you before we put a wrap on tonight's episode. Tickets will be sold at the gate tomorrow night for $6. The address to the football field is 49346 Seneca Lake Road, Sarasville, Ohio. And just throwing this out there, I mentioned it earlier in the episode. Tomorrow night is Shenandoah's homecoming, so you may want to prepare yourself to arrive a little earlier. I've been to games where you're parking on 146 and 147 because there's just no parking left. So I'm pretty certain tomorrow will probably be the same way. So if you can leave a little early tomorrow night, I'll definitely do so. There will be a JV game at home this Saturday, October 5th at 10 a.m. against Shenandoah. Coach, you got any final comments on this week's episode?
Yeah, I mentioned a little bit before. I think the biggest thing is just we've got to be on our toes defensively. We have to be ready for Barnett to pretty much do everything and anything. Throw it deep, throw it short, run with power, run with speed. So that's what I look for out of our guys, just to be prepared and be ready for that. Offensively, I think we can run the ball. I plan on rotating. AJ and now Evan, coming in, get some more carries, Cooper. So that's kind of our game plan, just kind of pounding at them, running at them, see how that goes. But I look for it to be a hard-fought win. It's definitely going to be a hard-fought win because you mentioned about playoff points. They need this one. They need this one to get some points and get kind of back in the race. So they're going to be fired up. They've got a lot of things going on that you mentioned. The homecoming, that always gets kids fired up. So we just got to be ready. We got to come out and we got to punch them in the mouth and take it to them.
Yeah. Good game plan, Coach. But listen, you mentioned running AJ and Cooper and Evan.
Yeah.
I know you know this. Don't forget about that Tucker Howe kid too.
Yeah.
Run him time too.
Yeah.
I
He
think
only had one carry last week. So.
Well, he'll need more. But I think he can help us win, Coach.
He's okay.
All right, everyone. We appreciate you joining us this evening. That's a wrap on tonight's show. As always, we'll be here again next Thursday night at 9 p.m. to discuss our upcoming home game against the Barnesville Shamrocks. See everybody tomorrow night. Go Noles.